I'd like to share a story about a situation that happened maybe 20 years ago. I was out with my girlfriend at the time. We had just come from dinner. By the way, this is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Uh, at the time, I was concealed carrying, and me and my girlfriend had gone out to dinner, had a nice night, and I guess we were coming back through a neighborhood. It's called Fishtown. It's a diverse community. Uh, anyway, we were just driving along, and we were about maybe 5 cars from the intersection, waiting for the light to turn green. And I don't know how this guy that was at the intersection didn't see this kid coming on the bicycle, coming across the intersection. Like I said, I was 5 cars behind him, and I saw the kid coming on the bicycle. Everyone knows kids on the bicycle, just watch out for them. Kids on roller skates, they'll knock you down on the pavement. Kids riding by on the bicycle, they'll run you over too. It was this young kid, maybe about, I'd say about 11 or 12 years old, maybe 13. So this kid's riding in the street, riding across the intersection, and this guy that was in the head of the line waiting for the light to turn green, he just took off. He plowed into the kid. He barely hit his brakes and just kept going. So now I see this happen. It was surreal. This kid is just laying in the street, and there were folks that went over to assist the kid, I guess call an ambulance, 911, whatever the case may be. So I believe at the time I was driving a 429 Ford Torino GT. I lit out after the guy. And he had one of those souped up Hondas, one of those little tuner cars with the small tires, rims, and all that, tinted windows. And he got going pretty good. But he was not able to get away from me. As I said, I had that 429 Cobra Jet Torino. That thing was a monster. So anyway, me and my girlfriend, we're behind this guy, and the whole time, my girlfriend at the time, she's going, "Get your gun out! Get your gun out! We have to stop these guys." So I never did unholster my gun, but I'm conscious that at some point in time, this guy knows that we're following him. He could have a gun himself. That could be one of the reasons why he didn't stop. He could have had drugs. He could have panicked, with the adrenaline of hitting that kid. He could have been just a regular guy who just made a wrong decision and, panicked and left the scene of that crime. I don't know. Or, as I said, he could have been a drug dealer with a firearm, ready to shoot anybody that's trying to stop him. So, all this stuff is going through my head. And in the meantime, my girlfriend at the time, she's going, "Don't let him get away. Get your gun out." So, I'm just trying to keep this guy in sight. So finally, this guy really knows we're after him now. And he knows he's not going to get away. And I'm not going to let him get away. The thing about it is, I never unholstered that weapon. But knowing that he could be a felon, or he is a felon at this point, I guess, I don't know. But knowing that he could have gotten out of his car at any time and started shooting at me and my girlfriend, just knowing that I had that firearm with me at that time, you know, was something that, really worked in my favor as far as, what's going to happen next if this guy comes out of his, car with a gun. Knowing that I had my own firearm and then I could return fire was huge. I mean, huge. And the thing about it is, had I not had my firearm with me at the time, I would have still been compelled to chase this guy down. So, I mean, it really wouldn't have made a difference. It didn't make a difference, in the fact that I was going to have to, catch this guy or get a license plate number or anything. I was still going to do that without the firearm or with the firearm. It was just something really big that, okay, if this guy comes out of his car and he has a gun and he starts some trouble, then I could, return equal or superior, force to stop that threat against me and my girlfriend. So as it works out, we followed the guy far enough to where there was a police officer coming in the opposite direction. And this guy got boxed in by the traffic that was before him and the light turned red. He was sitting there again. He was maybe 2 or 3 cars behind the guys waiting for the red light, and I was like directly behind him. Fortunately, the cop was right there, coming in the opposite direction, and I jumped out of the car and waved the cop down, pointing at the car, screaming, "He just hit a kid! He just hit a kid!" And he kept going. Officers got out, apprehended the guy. Me and my girlfriend, we're standing there. I couldn't keep her in the car. She was so angry at this guy for running over that kid. It was just a lot of emotion and adrenaline flowing in that situation. I never unholstered my weapon. Never had to. The cops handled everything. I did let the police officers know that I was armed. They did not ask me for any ID, anything. Well, I guess all that, when I took the report, my information, I guess that handled everything. I did let them know that I had a license to carry. And, they thanked me for being, thanked us for being, type of citizen that would see this thing through. And they said, you know what? We need more people like you guys in the city of Philadelphia. And that's my story. That's about the only time I ever came close to having to draw my weapon and use it. And I was prepared to do that if need be. But it was just a good feeling knowing, hey, listen, I'm not out on an island stranded, and this guy starts shooting at me, and there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. And I'm 6'8", 300 pounds, and like if this guy had, any type of gun, weapon, whatever, it would have equalized that in his favor right away. So, if you can carry a firearm If you're legally able to carry one, carry one. I would suggest that to anyone. And if you can open carry, that's just icing on the cake. I do a lot of open carry. I haven't had a lot of instances where I have, any contact with the police. One time, and I didn't have my camera, so it's just a mute point, I guess, there. But they were very professional, and they did ask me for ID. I knew the police officers from my neighborhood. They weren't trying to give me a hard time, and so I gave them one for free. After we sat there, I let them know. I read them the riot act, and then I let them know, I'm just doing this out of courtesy. But I gave them one for free, and I told them, I said, you spread the word to your police department in our district that I won't be IDing myself anymore. So, you're going to have to abide by the laws. I told them that, the police officers, so they understood. So, but that's my open carry. Almost was gonna, if I had to deal, and unfortunately, fortunately, it didn't come to that. So that was pretty much it. All right, thank you. Oh, I always forget to say, would you please like and subscribe to my channel? It really helps out. And really, the most important thing that I would like for anyone viewing this video, could you please comment? I'm really interested to know how you guys would have handled that situation if you were in those same shoes. What do you think maybe would have been better? Well, I guess you couldn't get a better outcome, but what do you think we could have done differently? What could have made us safer in that situation? And what would you have done? If you can please comment, that would be a big help to me, so that we all learn and experience. It's not every day you're going to have to use your carry piece. So if we can share, maybe we can educate each other and give each other different options. So as I said, thank you again for, I know it's a little long, but could you please like and subscribe, and please comment over everything else. Even if you don't like or subscribe, just please comment. Thank you.